introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the San Francisco 49ers and the Arizona Cardinals. With fall around the corner, football is back, America, and we're underway on EA Sports. Set to return, here's Raheem Mostert. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Now the Georgia Southern man, this is Jerick McKinnon. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front and linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
Watch it now, Marty!
Here's White. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
Now Jones looking to throw on second down. The first catch of the game for George Kittle. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue. So into Cardinal territory now. It's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line.
Now let's go! Blue 90! Blue 90!
Here's Jones. Off play action. Looking deep downfield. And nearly picked it off. He had a chance to come down with that in the end zone, but it'll wind up just being incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10.
Hurry up, here we go! Green 30.
They'll run it now. Out they go. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. They lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
A quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers putting up their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
Watch it now, Barney! All right, now, lucky 56! Lucky 56! Hot! Watch it now, Barney!
Jones now to throw on 3rd down. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And this is good. He got just enough to clear the crossbar as he drops it in from long distance. And the 49ers take a 3-0 lead. So it's not an NFL record, but it's not far off. That'll go in the books as a 61-yard field goal.
And wasn't it weird to see a guy line up for a field goal on the other side of midfield? The ball got halfway there, and you thought, no way is that going to make it, but it just kept carrying and carrying, and he winds up sneaking it right over the bar.
Tailback. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. There to stop him on the defensive side, Fred Warner.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. On 3rd down, Murray. He's going to look deep down the field. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
The 49er offense now making their way out onto the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they've got to make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Jones throwing on 1st down. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 38, and his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Able to get away.
That's why you keep the legs churning.
And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Set.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Murray. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. Call it a pickup of 7. And just like that, it's 3rd down.
Detroit! Detroit!
Now they'll run on the draw. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
Brandon, from the defense's perspective, that's a tone setter. They try to hit him with a draw early, and they snuff it right out.
And the kick by Gonzalez is good. And that will tie us at 3-3. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
The 49ers offense making its way back out there. And last time, 1-play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback. You got a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
Now a handoff looking right. He works his way forward for a couple up past the 30.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
To throw on second down, Jones. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field that's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. From the gun, Jones. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. The Cardinals offense now works their way back onto the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
And that's caught inside the 30. Touchdown, Cardinals. J.J. Nelson, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Cardinals are able to show off their quick strike ability. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
They juked him. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
Now Jones on first down. That's to the right side, complete to Kittle. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice gain right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Here's Jones, operating from the gun. There's the Washington Husky. It's Dante Pettis. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
They hit that crossing route really well. Excellent timing, puts it right on him, and he keeps running.
Yeah, turned it upfield for good yardage. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. Green, 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Jones now to throw on 2nd down. And he'll go down at the 28. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Detroit! 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 All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Throwing Jones. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 21. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line. You don't see this often. A quarterback of his caliber, 2 first-half interceptions.
It's absolutely surprising because it happens so rarely. You're searching for what reason, what's going on out there. It's not just maybe the defense is playing well. Is his horoscope off? His biorhythms? What is it?
You had horoscope on us, David.
Well, I was thinking maybe REM sleep was off. I'm trying to come up with something.
Anything, right? That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
All right, now, lucky 50.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Murray, throw right side is going to be caught by Kirk. And this play goes nowhere, losing yardage back to the 15. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
Here's Murray. Being chased out left. He may try and run for this. So no sack. He gets back to the line of scrimmage, but it'll still bring up a 4th down.
Well, the defensive guys won't be real happy because there won't be a sack on this play because he did get back to the line of scrimmage. But what a job they did overall. Hemmed him in and gave him nowhere to go with the football.
Well, the offense, they got the ball in a great spot, but they went nowhere. Forced him to take just the 3.
And they'll be, happy taking the 3. But those guys on the other side, they've got to be ecstatic. They didn't let him get anywhere. It made him kick a field goal. That almost feels like they got the advantage, doesn't it?
And San Francisco gets set to go here. And 2 picks thrown here in this first half alone. We'll see how that affects him.
Can't wait to see where his confidence is because the great ones, they'll throw 4 or 5 picks. And while it'll hurt their team, it won't hurt their confidence. They'll think something was just wrong with the ball or the wind or something was funny. It's never about them. That's how they stay so into the moment and into the game.
And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. Jones looking to throw on 2nd down. And that'll be incomplete.
I would say it'd probably be a good idea for him to reintroduce himself to his receivers at the half because they're definitely on different wavelengths. But I also don't advocate waiting that long. Next series before you get out there. Hey, let's get together, guys. Let's get this thing moving.
The Niners on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90. Check 4, check 4. 6 guys. Check 6.
Now Jones. And he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively, but instead it just brings up 4th down. Here comes the 49ers punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Taken in at the 22. Give him 11 yards that time on the return, and the Cards will take over 1st and 10. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Picked by Tarvarius Moore. And a terrific return as he brings this one all the way back to the 30. Oh, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
No. Check. Patriot.
Now a carry for White. He'll get about 6 there as he takes this one down to the 24-yard line.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39. Gone.
To throw on 2nd down. Jones goes underneath here to White. White's got a 1st down and more. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets him up 1st and goal.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
They'll give it to him up the middle, and nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage.
He may be a bit undersized compared to the modern-day NFL defensive tackle, but what he lacks in size, he definitely makes up for it in his ability to make tackles in the run game as well.
Nothing on 1st down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, 2nd and goal.
Green 39. Green 39. Gone. Detroit.
Looking to throw. Jones. And now he'll tuck it and run. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's 3rd down. The Niners on third down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. They're looking at a 3rd and goal here. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. More from the desert after this. The offense on third down, not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and goal.
Detroit! Detroit! Detroit!
Now Jones. From the gun, he'll throw. And too much on that one. It's out of the back of the end zone, incomplete.
Let's give this defense some credit now. They let the guys get downfield, but when push came to shove, they stood their ground, and now they'll likely force a field goal attempt.
The kick by Fairbairn is good. And they will cut the lead back down to a touchdown now at 13-6. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21-yard line. Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down here at about the 23-yard line. And it's Reuben Foster in on the tackle.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Looking to throw on second down. Murray dancing to his... And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. And now the 49ers signal for a timeout defensively, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Lucky 56. Hot! Hot!
Operating from the gun. Murray. He's going to fire one deep over. He's got him in. Complete. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. Give him 30 yards there.
We just saw him hit a big play there on a deep post. And most of the time, the post isn't available because usually you have defenders in the middle of the field. But if you throw enough curls and crossing routes and underneath routes, I know from experience, they get tired of watching those balls get caught. They start to creep up a little bit, and that's when you can hit them big over the top.
He's going to launch this thing. That's caught inside the 20. And he gets it down deep into San Francisco territory. Now we're going to get a stoppage here as we've got an injured Cardinal on the field. Hate to see this. Week 1 of the season. We'll be back. So after the big play, look at this. All the way down at the 15 now on 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. A great play there with his first career touchdown in his first career game. And the Cardinals will extend their lead. Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT. And the lead now up to 14. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The 49ers offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk is a big decision here.
That one goes for 24 yards. First down now, but that clock rolling.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you're doing like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
3-19! 3-19! Gone!
Here's Jones. Off the play fake. The tight end Kittle has it on the left side. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks. This quarterback now 8 of 17 so far, so under 50%, but he's got a 1st and 10. Jones now operating from the gun. And it's complete in the end zone. Touchdown 49ers. As his guys are in for 6. And the 49ers are back within a score. Well, this could be a big turnaround. They get the touchdown here in the final moments of the second quarter. And remember, Charles, they're going to get the ball to start quarter number 3 as well.
So what you're saying is if they take the ball down to start the second half and score again, it could change the entire complexion of this game, couldn't it?
Absolutely. This one fielded at the 5. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. So out now come the Cardinals. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Now they try the right side here. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. All right, we will save the Week 1 highlights and apparently get right back to the action here in the third. So we have reached halftime here in the Thursday night opener. We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. So here's the Cardinals offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies, try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just second down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. Line of scrimmage, again, the 25, 2nd and 10. And they'll go on the ground. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from
Murray fighting Lost the football, but I think a Cardinal was able to gain possession, yes, so they will hold on to the ball.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
They'll run it now out of the gun. A very good move, but for a relatively modest gain out near the 32.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. The Cardinals on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 17.
All right, here we go. Green, 39. Green, 39.
From the gun, Murray. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
Well, he did almost everything. Right. Excellent coverage, breaks on the football, just unable to haul it in and take it the other way, so he dropped an interception. The key for him now, don't dwell on it, just move on to the next play.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Here's a look at the 49ers offense as they make their way out for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter 3.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back for the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out if that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%. Here's a 2nd and 7 now from their own 7.
All right, now, look at 56.
Jones, off play action, trying to lay one up deep. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
The Niners on 3rd down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Back to throw. Jones. Now he steps away. Randy Gregory with a big-time sack on 3rd down. And it'll be a loss of 7.
Now this is where field awareness comes into play. He's getting perilously close to his own goal line. And after that sack, backed up to his own 2.
44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. It's fielded at the 45. Nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Cardinals, great field position to start this drive as they take over 1st and 10. The Cardinal offense now making their way back out onto the field. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
So statistically, both of these offenses having a rough time getting a running game going. But, boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right. You look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
Over!
And on the ground they go with a running back. And he'll bring this one inside the 35. And he's able to get more than half of what they needed. That brings up a 3rd and 5.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
They had great starting position to begin the drive, but now they look up at a 3rd and 5.
Gun!
Operating from the gun, Murray. And able to find Kirk complete. And eventually taken down, but how about that athletic spin move we saw? Gives him the 1st down yardage. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. On 1st down, they'll run it on the draw play. And he'll get it down inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. That one good for 17 yards, and now they've got it 1st and goal.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
They come out here in the eye. It's their quarterback scoring on the sneak from a yard out. And the Cardinals now adding on to their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this 3rd quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge? Whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end in the direction they want to run the football. If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
They keep it on the ground. White again. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
Back 99 Philly, here we go.
Now White. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So on the big tight end, holding.
Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without holding.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Now Jones. From the gun, he'll throw. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up 2nd down. And he's certainly not a guy that drops that football very often.
Indeed, because that's a bit of a surprise. I know he's in the middle of some traffic and people, bodies all around him, but he usually has the focus to haul that one in.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Here's Jones, operating from the gun. And an alley to run. It's a gain of 9 yards. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation.
Partner was a definite passing down, but he was able to leak out and pick up some good yardage, even though the coverage was excellent. Maybe it's not exactly how they drew it up, but he still got a big chunk of yardage on 2nd down.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. To throw on 3rd down, Jones. And able to haul it in is Kittle. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 23 yards on the play.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end, a guy that you can line up anywhere, in the slot, out wide, in tight, doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage. They run once more with McKinnon. And he only manages a couple here down to about the 38-yard line.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
The Niners on 3rd down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12.
Detroit! Detroit!
From the gun, Jones. Looking downfield, and that's caught right side. He's got his man. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a 1st down. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified. Big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. Gets this one left side to Pettis. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Dante Pettis from 19 yards away. And the 49ers have cut it back within a score. Fairbairn good with the extra point. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. Fairbairn now to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And the Cardinals getting set to trot out there now. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's second and a yard from the 34.
Check 26, check 26. Gun, gun! Gun, gun! Come to my world!
To throw on second down, Murray. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Harmon. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A good pickup there at 22.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage, as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage, because man coverage, you're typically running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's second and 4. And they'll run it here. And he'll take this one down to the 36. They got 2 of the 3 they needed there. It leaves them with third and just a yard.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
The Cardinals on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the first down. Close it out.
And this is good. It was running out of gas there at the end, but he winds up getting just enough on it. And that will push the lead up to double digits now at 10. So that's a big one. Obviously, Charles makes it a 2-score game, his 3rd field goal of the game, able to knock it through.
Yeah, not exactly free and clear yet, but as a defense, you get to play a little bit looser, don't you? Because you do now have a little bit of a margin of error, don't you?
And San Francisco gets set to go here. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
3-19!
Jones now on 1st and 10. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one goes for 24 yards. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10.
Watch him now, Barney! Barney!
They'll run with White. He takes this for about 6 down inside the 40.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Gun, gun! Gun, gun! Gun, gun! Gun, gun!
Jones to throw on 2nd down. Over the middle, he finds Pettis complete. Give them 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Right,
so 1st and 10 now from the 30.
All right, here we go. Blue landed. Blue landed.
Now Jones throwing on 1st down and nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's 2nd down. Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10.
Gone, 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 gone. Leopard, leopard.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Just a couple there on the 2nd down run. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8 situation.
Gone, 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 gone.
Here's Jones on 3rd down. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. From the right hash, this from 53. Fairbairn able to put this one through. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. So you knew one way or another that they needed the 2 scores. They get the easy one out of the way. Now they'll get the ball back, hopefully.
Yeah, and the question is, how do you accomplish that? Do you onside kick it? Or since you have all 3 timeouts, do you kick it deep? To me, I'm playing field position. With all 3 timeouts, I kick it deep and try and pin them back there.
Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
They go play action here on 1st down. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the 1st.
Well, how about this aggressive approach? Got the lead, 4th quarter, continuing to throw the football. Are you thinking about Super Bowl 51? Atlanta had the lead against New England, and they ended up giving it up?
I was going to say don't say it, but you did say it.
I did, didn't I?
Yeah, anybody watching Atlanta, our apologies. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. And they'll go on the ground. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. And now the 49ers signal for a timeout defensively, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. So they come up on 2nd down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. And now the question everyone's wondering, look at the clock, late 4th quarter. Do they put the ball in the air here on 3rd?
I don't. I run the football, and I tell my offensive line, no leakage up front. I don't want my running back hit as I hand the ball off to him. I don't want any type of an issue. But if I am going to throw it, quick throw, out to the perimeter, maybe one of my best receivers running a quick slant or something like that.
The Cardinals on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 7.
Gone, 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 gone.
Operating from the gun, Murray. Now he'll escape to his left. Now he'll let it go deep down the left sideline. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And San Francisco gets set to go here. They're down here in a one-score game. But the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late-game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
Well, they have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll be a second down. Back to throw. And a dump off to White. And down he'll go at the 25. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves his sticks. First down now, but that clock rolling. Back to throw. Throw right side taken in by Pettis. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. 23 yards on the play. That's what they need right now. Get the first down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
They'll look to throw. And incomplete on the deep ball. This defense has watched their lead dwindle away. This is where they really need to bow up. They executed well there.
And it's often hard after you've played really well early and then you kind of relax a little bit to step on the gas again. They just did it on the last play. Looks like they want to finish this one off.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Detroit! Detroit!
He's back to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete. 3rd and long coming up. Defensively, you pressure the quarterback or drape all over the passing lane?
Yes, that's exactly what you do. It's both because they're not mutually exclusive. They may have been at one time in football, but not anymore. You want to have that pressure. If you have a big-time pass rusher, send him after the quarterback, and then make sure you blanket the field.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it down here to the 43. A good effort there, 9 yards, but it's going to leave them looking at a 4th and 1. Got to be careful here. They need to move quickly, but it's also 4th. Now McKinnon. And he's not even going to come close to picking up the first. They stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Well, they were looking for a clutch play there on 4th, unable to come up with it.
How about that defense, though, huh? How about that D?
Yeah, momentum swing.
And, you know, I remember playing how much 4th downs were emphasized. You know, because, as you said, it's a momentum play. It's also a big test for you. You know, if people are going to go for it on 4th down, they believe you're not up to the challenge. You want to show them differently.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college. And how about in the NFL? The miracle at the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
Well, my friend, for the players, it's good for them to get that first game under their belts. For you and I, that first Thursday night game, also good for us to get that under our belts, wasn't it?
It was no longer preseason. We were into the regular season, the first game of the year. And, you know, all eyes were watching this when everyone was excited that football was back.
And it's just special. You could just feel it. It's so good to have the pigskin back out there. It'll be crisp fall weather before we know it.
You got that right, but I love the build-up to it, right? All day long anticipating it.